Here's a brief but annoying message to let you know that you could have first heard this episode 9 months ago if you were a subscriber to our Iron Filing Society Patreon offering.
For the price of a pint and a St Clement's each month, you can get up to 4 episodes a week, 9 months before the rest of the world gets them. Early access to regular episodes, lots of other marvellous benefits, and there's absolutely no adverts or brief but annoying messages like this that will get right on your ticks.
Find out more and subscribe now at tftimemachine.com/ironfilings.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, this is it!
This is Top Flight Tune Machine. I am Andy Hotbody Dawson. Pow, pow, pow.
And I am Sam Nifty Delaney. So what?
Welcome along. We're going to start on a brand new chart today, courtesy of the Random Pop Blob, which it's just shed its skin. Sam.
Oh, how often does it do that? Is that once a year or?
It does it once a year, early spring. It sheds its skin.
Does that mean it's now in season?
I don't know.
It means is it emitting a scent to other blobs that suggests it's ready for mating?
I'm not a blob myself. I don't know of any other blobs.
I'm not suggesting you've tried to fuck it, mate.
Locality.
Heaven forbid.
You're not saying that, are you?
I'm not saying that for a moment. No, I'm just thinking if there are other pop blobs nearby, or any sort of blob.
Yeah.
They're not always pop blobs. You can get a blob to randomise anything.
You could crossbreed a pop blob.
Yeah, because you now can get like things like a pop blob, like crossed with a football fixture blob, and that is called a pop fur. And apparently, those blobs are popular because they're hypoallergenic.
Right.
They're hypoallergenic, which means they don't shed like any bits of blob around your house, and that's why they've become very popular, that particular crossbreed.
You can have them up on the settee.
You can have them on the settee, no problem. Yeah,
and hoover it off
if your kid has asthma, it's no problem at all. It won't affect that.
Oh, that's good. I mean, that's pretty good because ultimately they're just mongrel blobs, aren't they?
They are mongrels, but you give them a fancy name, advertise the hypoallergenic, and people suddenly you pay extra. Yeah. There's no other blobs that I know of in the vicinity, in the locality, so we've not had any. If they're in season, you'll get a couple of blobs hanging around at the gate, or scratching at the front door. Yeah, trying to put their little blobby snouts through the letterbox.
Yeah, just trying to get at it. Oh,
but luckily,
blob sex.
You had it spayed anyway, didn't you?
I've had it spayed.
Yeah, so it still can be in season, but it can't actually get pregnant.
It can't procreate. That's the last thing I need.
Loads of little baby blobs around the house. Then you've got to advertise them on Craigslist or what have you.
We do this thing the whole year round. We don't need the pop blob taking time off because of pregnancy or maternity leave or anything like that.
We have all our employees spayed. The blob result spot result spot's been neutered. And various other creative humans that have worked for us in different capacities. We always insist. The first question we ask is, have you been done? That's what we say, don't we?
Yeah. But Result Spot, of course, we had to file his testicles off, didn't we?
Yeah, it's the only way you can do it, the robot.
With a big file.
Yeah. He doesn't feel pain, so it's no problem for him.
No, it's
the least of his worries, having no bollocks. He was thankful for it.
We give him some iron filings as an anaesthetic anyway, but
he was like, to be honest, it's one less burden, the monkey on my back, of constant sexual desire, especially when I've been on the iron filings. I go online and I get myself a robot prosser. But often when she arrives, I'm so off my tits, I can't even perform sexually. I like to watch her perform. File them off.
Yeah, so, Result Spot, of course. It's done him the world of good, predictions-wise. It seems to have focused him better because he's having a decent season.
Yeah,
maybe that's counterproductive.
For me, it's been a nightmare.
Reattach.
For me, it's been a nightmare. Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Let's look at the data here, right? In our league, in our predictions league, there are 3... I wouldn't say people because he's not a person, entities competing, right? 3 competitors.
I think I prefer to be called an entity than a person sometimes.
Okay. So 2 of those entities right, have been neutered, right?
Oh, fuck yeah, I have.
You've had your pipes tied up, and he's had his bollocks filed off, right? I'm the only one still producing spunk. And what does the fucking league look like? Who's rock bottom without a hope in hell? And it's only March.
Fucking little Johnny Spunker.
Spunky boy here.
Because Timmy.
The fucking spunk is distracting my mind and my emotions constantly.
That's exactly it.
I've got no focus. Right. I've got no focus. No. I tell you what.
Think about fucking jizzing up.
I know. I'm getting these fucking done. The sooner the better. I've been putting it off for years now. It's time to get it done. Did the NHS do it free, mate? Because I don't really want to fork out. I've got a load of expenses anyway.
There's a waiting list, but they'll do it for you.
Yeah, I'll put my name down today.
I mean,
hello.
Try it.
Hello. Yeah, look, I've read in the papers. I know you're striking and whatnot. You're very overstretched. I understand that. I'm on your side, but you have to understand. I am nearly 48, and these bollocks, for some reason, I thought by this stage, if I had a wank, all that would come out the end was some ash, a little pop of ash, like fag ash dripping out the end of it. But no, it's still spunk just when I was a lad, and it's not doing me any good whatsoever.
The thing is, I do this prediction league on a podcast, and I'm rock bottom this year.
A couple of years back, I won it. Don't ask me how. I did. But now, and I'm convinced 100% that it's these bollocks that are getting in the way. So you can see this.
There's only three of us in it, right? There's me. There's this fella who's had his bollocks off, and there's a robot.
The robot had a robot bollocks, but we had away with them. We do it with all our employees, right? Now,
the robots do better than me.
You might say it's politically incorrect, but it's just our company policy. There's no law against it. We make sure that everyone who works for us or with us has their bollocks off. The only one who doesn't is me. So what I'm saying is, I appreciate you're busy. I appreciate that you're overstretched and underfunded, but this is about my livelihood here, right? This is how I earn a living. So get me on that fucking list as high up as you can.
Get me on that bench.
I'm told it's a quick in and out job anyway, which is much the same as my sex life as it happens. No, I'm only joking with you, love. Come on, don't be like that.
No, I'm not a two-pub pirate, don't worry.
No, not anymore. Those days are gone. I mean, all of us, once upon a time, we could get excitable, but now, if anything, I'll be honest, sometimes it's the opposite problem. I've got to keep going for fucking ever. It gets boring for everyone involved. You don't need... No, I know, you don't need to know it, but still, nonetheless.
I have to go on a website on my phone and have a look to get things going, do you know what I mean?
Two-pump pirate, fucking chance would be a main thing. A fucking fine
200
thing.
Pump more like.
Yeah. I can tell you the pumping isn't as fucking dynamic as it once was either.
She's lying there saying, "Are you done yet?"
She's like, Jesus Christ, the dog needs walking. We're going to be here all day.
I'm lying here looking at that wallpaper and it's coming away in the corner.
And I'm sitting here and I'm calculating how we can fucking afford to get a painter decorator around, because there's no way you're going to fucking do it. You've been promising me that for years.
Ineffective in every fucking department.
Unreliable and tardy.
Yeah,
tardy
so
lover.
About.
Tardy lover's a good t-shirt idea. He's a tardy lover. He'll take his time, won't you believe it?
Oh, God. 3/4 of an hour.
Like no other. Half an hour
before
and he's still not done.
Falling asleep.
It's don't knock it. A lot of men our age out there will know what I mean. Tardy love. You become before you know it, you're starting out as a lover. Right, when you're a young whippersnapper and your problem is you're a two-pump pirate, then in the blink of an eye, suddenly you're a tardy lover. And you think, when was my prime? When was I hitting all the right notes at the right times? Must have been a brief.
Realise.
Probably was Euro 96, to be honest.
Probably was, yeah.
Probably was my loving prime. Long time ago. Oh, well.
So, yeah, you can't go back.
You can't go back.
You can't go back. Where are we? Yeah, so the pop blob shed some skin. The skin it's currently just lying on the floor of its tank. So I'll probably put that on eBay.
Yeah.
I might get 30 quid for that.
Probably.
Yeah, I reckon so. If it'll let me get it out, I'll have to wait till it's asleep, I think. It's very protective. It can go for you if you try and take its skin out of the tank while it's conscious.
Yeah, you'll have to get it muzzled if it starts behaving like that.
Yeah. I could just shove it into the corner. I could corner it with a
broom.
I don't know, a broom or something.
Yeah, or a chair.
Yes, a really small chair.
A small stool and a whip. Get back!
I could sell it to the circus, couldn't I?
Yeah. I went
tamer.
to a blob circus, exclusively blobs in Hungary once, but
In Hungary,
it was very sad actually.
Horrible.
It wasn't nice because all the blobs were very flea bitten, and they kind of
crying.
looked tranquilised, to be honest. A lot of
Yeah.
these blobs, and they didn't have that nice sheen. Yeah, making those sad sounds that blobs make, and a healthy blob because it's got that sort of moistness to it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
These were dry. They were dry blobs, and no one likes to see that.
I mean, I've told you before, I've got the it's like a sprinkler system that just sprinkles a fine mist
On a timer.
every 10 minutes, just to keep them moist. But in case people are thinking I'm being cruel to the blob, I'm not.
Talking of
Looked after
sprinklers,
really
mate.
well.
Talking of sprinklers,
Yeah.
when you think about being on a lovely holiday and it makes you happy, right?
Yeah.
And the sounds of holiday. I mean, obviously you've got your crickets, haven't you? Quite like that. But one thing that I always like when I think about holidays is, sometimes you hear sprinklers when you're abroad and you're anywhere near a foreign lawn. You're sitting there, maybe you're reading your book, maybe an Agatha Christie, I don't know, and suddenly you hear this.
Yeah.
It's a fucking cracking noise, isn't it?
It's beautiful, that, isn't it? Yeah. Fucking hell.
What I wouldn't do to be somewhere with that noise right now.
I was in Cyprus a few years ago
Yeah.
and stayed in a villa that I've got on Airbnb, and it had its own sprinkler thing going on.
So that
And I
soundtracks
sat
your
back
day.
and I thought, I've made it.
Yeah,
Dawson's made it.
yeah. Look
Got
at me
my own
now.
sprinkler.
If they could see me now, the lad's back
Yeah.
in Shiny Row, here with my fucking sprinkler system. Should have recorded it on your phone, and then on sad days when it's cold and rainy back in Blighty,
you're right, yeah.
you could just play that to yourself, and it probably would help.
It's probably on YouTube. People probably put
Yeah.
stuff like that on YouTube for like ASMR purposes. You know what I mean? That's sound therapy. Yeah, I'll have a look later on.
It's the best
should we
noise.
get
Can't
the
think of
pop
many
blob?
better noises.
No,
let's get on with
good
the chart.
noise observation there
Yeah.
in this, which is a noise-based series. Really, tune machine, isn't it?
Can't stop doing it now.
There it is again.
Right.
Yeah.
On with the chart.
Well, we've got the pop blob here who's going to tell us which chart we're going to do. So we'll go over to it now and hear what it's got to say. What was it?
Random
blob.
Do your job.
Do your job. Tell us how to use our gob.
Use your gob. Tell us how to do our
Use your
job.
gob. Tell us how to do our job. Oh, here we go. Woo! Sounds sad.
What? Yeah,
Sounds
maybe
sad,
he's a
doesn't he?
bit dry. Maybe he's a bit dry. Maybe the sprinkler hasn't. Maybe he hasn't been sprinkled recently.
It's been working. Maybe it's the new skin. The new skin needs to be over moisturised. I'm not
Do you
sure.
ever take him to the
Maybe it's just
groomers?
sad.
Do you ever take him to the groomers, like the
Don't
blob
need to.
groomers? No,
No, don't
self grooming
need
is
to.
he?
No, just keep him moist, and that's all you need to do. It's always really smooth.
If you pay extra at the blob groomers, I mean, it might be because I'm here in London, so everything's fancy. But there's a blob groomers not far from me where they drain it at the blob's anal gland.
Drain the glands.
Yeah. And
Because you don't want to be doing that yourself, do you?
no, fuck that. No way. I mean, I love blobs as much as the next person, but I don't love them that much.
I don't think this breed has even got an anus. I've not seen one.
You got one without an anus. That's good. So then it's less messy.
It's self-fouling, I think.
Yeah, you do get them now.
Recycles.
They've been bred that way. They got bred that way.
It recycles its own waste. There's no emissions of any kind.
Yeah, lovely.
So that's good.
Maybe it just emits them as a scentless gas.
Possibly, don't know. You get used to the smell, though. You know what I mean. You become nose blind, as they say.
You come to like it.
Yeah. So no anus on my blob. Okay. So the chart, 19th of November, 1978. This should be interesting.
78 was one of our best charts before. A couple of years ago, we had like
it's a great year.
two episode, two-parter. Yeah. Seems like a great year in music because it was a crossroads, wasn't it?
It was. Disco, punk, all sorts of stuff going on. A new wave, you could call it, because this is towards the end of 78, wasn't it?
Reggae, well, let's just do Reggie, as it was called.
Yeah, it was called back then, yeah. Let's do the rundown of the top 40 then, and see what we make of it then. Straight in at number 40, 999, with a track called Homicide. And if there's been a homicide, don't forget to call 999, because that's the only way you're going to get it sorted out.
Although the way this country's going, I doubt they'd bother answering the phone. Horrible to see more Americanisation of our beautiful British Queen's English. Homicide, of course, is what the Yanks call murder. Number 39.
It also smacks slightly of homosexual, which, of course, is one of the words that's banned from the UK chart at the moment.
And another thing that's, as I understand, been imported from America.
Yeah, I think they've snuck that one in there.
A new trend. Number 39, down from 21. It's The Jams with Down in the Tube Station at Midnight. Sounds horrendous. As I understand it, the tubes don't even run that late anymore. That's why I moved out the capital long ago. It's a cesspit.
I believe that song is actually about the time during the Second World War when people would go down into the tube stations overnight to avoid the bombing. Yeah. And even the Queen Mum, God bless her, would go down there and hand out curry to everyone.
She'd give everyone a curry, and then once they were all fed, she'd get back into her armoured vehicle and drive to her luxury bunker.
In the countryside.
In the countryside.
Which the Germans had agreed not to bomb.
But on account of them being her cousins. And
she family, yeah.
And she would stay down there and dine exclusively on champagne and goose liver until the next visit out. She would give the Germans notifications that she was making another visit to Mile End Tube Station. They would cease the bombing, and back she would go with more curry.
It was a very civilised war, I think, the second. And much more so than the first.
Really brought people together.
Really did. I think in years to come, we'll look back on it as being a highlight of our history.
And the curry, she didn't make it herself, but she did give instructions to her Walla, which was a manservant that she had, a slave, if you will, that she'd had sent over from the Raj. And he would make it with mutton, for, of course, that was the most economical form of meat. And it was only going to peasants, after all.
The Raj, of course, being her local Indian restaurant of favour.
Lovely stuff.
Well down done, 11 places at down 11 places at number 38. Dean Friedman and Lucky Stars.
New in at 37. Scruff bags from the North Country, the Buzz Cox with Promises. Don't like the use of the word Cox there, but I can see they've tried to be clever and work it into a longer word. But we're on to you, we're watching you, and a band will be forthcoming.
I've had my eye on these boys for a while, and let me tell you this, if they make you a promise, make sure they're not picking your pockets at the same time, because chances are they probably are. Down 17 places in the chart at number 36, Sham 69, another one of these scruff bag bands, except this time from the south. And they're singing Hurry Up Harry. I don't know who Harry is or why he needs to hurry up. Maybe he's doing some pickpocketing on Oxford Street.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Go off and spend the proceeds on heroin.
An ode to drug addiction and theft. like all of these punk rock songs seem to be. At number 35, absurd geek Elvis Costello and his Distractions, with a song title that I do approve of, Radio Radio, just as long as they're not undermining the greatest medium on earth.
Obviously, I haven't listened to it, but I hope it's pro-radio rather than anti-radio. But it's good to see someone who has the look of a sex offender making it into the charts.
It is nice to see,
Excellent
you're right.
stuff.
Destigmatising former offenders who have attempted to change the way in which they view the world.
Picked up a guitar in prison and he's never looked back. Down 19 places at number 34, it's the wonderful Electric Light Orchestra. Better than the Beatles for me. They've taken it a step further. And this one is called Sweet Talking Woman.
At number 33, this last sounds like a sweet talking woman. An exotic one too. Her name is Luisa Fernandez with Lay Love on You. I like the sound of this. We should invite her into the studio sometime.
Lay love on you. That sounds like she's just going to lie down on you with her boobs out, visible, accessible,
skin on skin, so to speak.
On skin, like the chips.
Although I have to say, I'm not a fan of skin on fries in the least. Another thing that's come from abroad, and for me, it just smacks of laziness on the behalf of the chef,
liberty.
On the behalf of your wife. Or chef, depending on whether you're eating at home or out at a nice brasserie.
It's profiteering is what it is. Get the skin in the bin and just give me the chips.
And yes, I have copyrighted that slogan, should the government ever wish to use it for one of their information campaigns.
For one of their immigration campaigns to get these foreign chefs out of the country once and for all. With their skin on chip.
I also sent it off to Mrs. Thatcher, leader of the opposition, very soon to be leader of our once great country. And I suggested and I said to her, get the brown skin in the bin as a means of discouraging racial harmony, which is something that I'm told she is quite keen to do. But as yet, no reply on that one.
They're probably focus grouping it.
Yeah.
It'll go through. It'll pass. I think it's... Is it me now? No.
I believe so.
Yeah, it's me. It's me. Yeah. Up 6 places at number 32 this week. It's Alicia Bridges and I Love the Nightlife. Oh, I bet you do, darling.
Next time you're Surrey way, I'm in a lovely little spot called Weybridge. Come to my gated community and we'll have a little nightlife right there. I've had some pretty cracking discos in the kitchen with a few local neighbours.
The discos are overrated because I've got a very excellent cabaret club near me. You can get chicken in a basket. There's a bill of 3 entertainers that are on, a singer, a magician and a comedian, and everyone has a rip-roaring time. So, Miss Bridges, come along and I'll show you the fucking nightlife.
Well, you've got 2 offers there. Make your mind up or take us both up. I'm not really fussed. At 31,
not on the same night, though.
All the way up from 70, someone called Dean Friedman, wasn't he in the shirt? He was at number 38 as well. Who the fuck is this guy? Well. I don't remember sanctioning him taking over the charts. Anyway, he's done a song called Lydia.
Jalapeño.
Up 9 places at number 30, it's that man and that woman, Dollar, and they're singing about a shooting star.
Why can't they just call it Pound? Yet more American infestation of our culture. Call it Pound Sterling. That's what from now on, that's what we'll call them, Sterling. At number 29, it's Sylvester. I believe he likes a particularly seedy type of nightlife that surrounds the homosexualist community. He's done a song called Dance Brackets Disco Heat. No, thank you, Sylvester. I'll stick to my barbecues in Weybridge.
There's actually a playground rhyme about Sylvester that I'm not allowed to actually broadcast. But you could probably work it out for yourself. Up 5 places at number 28, it's Elkie Brooks, the beautiful, fragrant Elkie Brooks, with Don't Cry Out Loud. Well, if you don't, darling, I won't. Know what I mean?
At number 27, it's Darts. Lovely
Darts.
guy, Den Hegarty.
The boys.
Great
and
guy.
The girl.
Yep. Don't let it fade away. Well, we're trying our best, Den.
Straight in at number 26, it's those toothsome squallers from the discotheque, the Bee Gees, and it's Too Much Heaven. You can't have too much heaven, can you? That's the whole point of heaven. It's infinite.
What an absurd notion from the Brothers Gibb.
Morons.
At 25, up 6 places, it's Sarah Brightman and Hot Gossip with I Lost My Heart to a Starship Trooper.
Chart entry at 24. Musique, whoever they are. I mean, I think they're on the brink of a ban here, but their song is called In the Bush. No further comment.
We'll just leave that one part there at 24 and let's hope it's not in the chart next week. At number 23, it's a couple of chaps from the US of A calling themselves Chic with a song with a title that positively reeks of garlic and onions, Le Freak. Why can't they just call it The Freak? These guys are American, they're in our chart, and they're using French words. For fuck's sake, they don't know whether they're coming or going.
They could have just left it there in France, but no, they had to come to the White Cliffs of Dover, our sacred cliffs, with their stupid little song. Down 11 places at number 22, it's Boney M and that wonderful song Rasputin, all about the man who's a hero of ours.
Great guy.
Lover of the Russian Queen.
Couldn't be killed.
It was such a shame how he carried on.
It was a shame. But in many ways, I feel that he was an icon of our times. And the way in which he refused to die was always very inspirational to me. I've always envisaged myself as being capable of cheating death. I don't know about you, mate.
Yeah, not really, but I see where it comes from you.
I feel that I probably am capable of cheating death, but we'll wait and see. At 21, it's Public Image. Formed by that disgusting imbecile who was once the frontman of the Sex Pistols. Now he's back, but we know who he is and we don't forget. The song's called Public Image and the band are called Public Image Limited. I suppose he thinks that's clever. I think it's pathetic and lazy.
I don't think people like him should be allowed to set up a limited company. I think there should be rules about that kind of thing.
I'll tell you what, as soon as we finish this crap, we'll be on to Company's House querying this.
Get him struck off.
Yeah, as a director.
Yeah. I've not heard the song in question, but I imagine it's just some out of tune, out of beat drums and the sound of that man generating mucus.
Caterwauling.
For 3 minutes. Awful stuff. Moving on to a proper artist, down 4 places at number 20, Father Abraham and his Smurfs with Dippity Day.
Yep, great bunch of Belgian lads, the Smurfs, and Father Abraham, stand-up guy. Been out for a few drinks with him at the BBC Club not so long ago. Couldn't understand a word he was saying.
Did you pass on my message and ask him how old the Smurfette is?
Smurfette, he said he was looking into it, but he said you weren't the first to make that inquiry. So you'd have to be patient. At number 19...
I can wait.
At number 19, up 11 places, it's the X-Ray Specs with germ-free adolescence. Don't like the sound of anything to do with that. Apart from the idea of spectacles and X-rays. I've seen them advertised in my son's comics. And apparently you can buy them imported from America, and it does let you see straight through a lady's blouse directly to her nipply boobs.
Yeah, they don't work, mate.
Oh,
take it from me, they don't work.
Fucking hell. More lies from the Americans.
Up 7 places at number 18, Street Band, led by a handsome young singer called Paul Young. And their song is Toast. It's all about toast.
Well, I can't blame them. It's a great snack food, isn't it, toast? Sometimes I'll just have it for my dinner. If my wife is ill or has gone away to her mother's in one of her strops, which she does, as you know, from time to time, I'll make myself 8, 9, 10, sometimes up to 12 rounds of toast. And I'll have them with a variety of different spreads. Lemon curd is, of course, my favourite. Yeah. Marmalade, Marmite, sometimes just a thick layer of margarine. Stork is my preferred brand. Never ever
scoff them.
butter, because I believe that to be a French affectation. And never peanut butter, because I think that's for fucking communists. But everything else is up for grabs. Sometimes some cheese on toast.
Sit there eating your toast, watching Play School, because that's all that's on during the fucking day. That or the news.
I'll eat 12 rounds of toast in front of Play School. And sometimes I'll melt a little bit of Red Leicester on top of my toast, and I'll add, just to spice it up, I'll add a little dash of Worcester sauce, so if I'm feeling particularly sexy that day. And I'll just watch Handball, Big Ted, and the rest of the boys going about their business.
Do you have Red Leicester as your house cheese, mate?
Of course I do, mate. Always have done, like my father before me. It's a tradition in the family.
I see.
Don't trust anyone who goes for anything else. I won't go into a house that stocks cheddar, particularly mature cheddar, which I think is a metropolitan elitist cheese. I will never go in a house that serves that as its house cheese. I do have a cousin who stocks double Gloucester, and I agree. Wow. I won't eat it, but I will go into his home.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bold statement.
Yeah.
Right, number 17, your turn.
At number 17, give it up, give it in. Claim the 3 degrees. Good luck to you.
Once again, my order of preference would be 2, 3, and then 1.
Well said.
And then 2 again. If I can manage it. Up 8 places at number 16, Elton John, still kicking around the charts, and this is called Part-Time Love. Give it up, Elton. There's about 6 months left in your career, I think. Wind it in now while you can. While you've still got your dignity.
It's becoming undignified, mate. At number 15, it's Donna Summer with MacArthur Park.
A ridiculous song about someone leaving a cake out in the rain. Who the hell would leave a cake in the rain? It's insanity.
It is a particularly troubling. It's a troubling image, though, mate, that I try not to dwell on. There's nothing sadder, is there, than seeing a rain-soaked cake?
I think she's been on psychedelic drugs and probably needs to be banned. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it now. Donna Summer, I ban thee.
Well done. Not before time.
Go. Needed to be done. Up 9 places at number 14, it's Heatwave with Always and Forever / Mind-Blowing Decisions.
Mind-blowing decision is them going for a double A side. They should have just stuck with Always and Forever. A song, of course, written by a great guy called Rod Temperton. Great guy from Grimsby Way. Used to be in the fish business, which, as you know, I invested in for a while earlier in the 70s. I did have some money invested in big fish. But unfortunately, he left, and he made a mind-blowing decision to fall in with a bunch of American servicemen and start writing disco music. Terrible shame. He'll be dead of drugs soon.
Yep, and it'll be his own bloody fault.
Quite right. Number 13, mate.
Yes, please. It's you.
Oh. No, I'm sure it's you.
Oh, I just said do the odd numbers. We
Number 13.
Over halfway through.
Blame it on the boogie, say the Jacksons. Typical leftists. Blaming it on everything other than themselves.
Once again,
and their own indolence.
Something about the Jacksons doesn't sit right with me. I wonder how they'd ever conduct themselves in the back of a taxi. So I suppose we'll never know.
We'll never find. You'll never find out. But I think it's a great way to judge a family, is to assess in your mind when you meet them for the first time, how would these people behave in the back of a taxi? Because that's the real measure of a clan.
What kind of mark out of 5 would they be given by the driver afterwards?
Brilliant.
Up 10 places at number 12, Patrick Jovett. And, oh God, I Love America. Let's stop with the American shit.
For God's sake.
There's nothing wrong with Britain.
We got plenty going for us here.
Jesus.
We don't need America, and we bloody don't need the European Community Commonwealth either. Thank you very much for asking, Monsieur Delors. At number 11, Queen, a good bloody British band, although I do believe that the lead singer has some South African blood, but that's a great country too, let's be honest. They've got fantastically amusing and whimsical double A side, Bicycle Race / Fat Bottom Girls. What a great bunch of whimsical guys. That's great British eccentricity at its best.
Who among us doesn't love a fat bottom girl?
I love a fat ass, mate. Can't get enough of them. Really
Just
get
to
you.
look at, or maybe administer a smack to as you're going past.
I love to give
office.
it a right old good smack, and I always get a thank you afterwards from the girls in the office.
There you go, Doreen.
Yeah.
Hope you're enjoying your day.
And I'll make her day. Wallop. Skin on skin. More skin on skin action.
Down 6 places. At number 10, it's John Travolta, or the new Elvis Presley, as I believe they're calling him. And it's Sandy. It's one of the slow ones from that film that all the songs are from now.
I've never seen it, never will. Not interested. At number 9, a band called Blondie with Hanging on the Telephone. I was hanging on the telephone to our own corporate affairs department, trying to have this rabble banned from Top of the Pops, but they never got back to me.
Well, I'm a big fan of this singer, whose name is Blondie.
Yes.
I believe.
Yes, her name is Josephine. Her name is Josephine Blondie, I believe.
I just know her as Blondie.
Yeah.
I said, there you go, Blondie, as I gave her a smack on the arse when she was in the office last week doing an interview.
And how did she respond,
she had to be restrained by 2 of her band members from coming after me. I assume for sexual purposes.
She probably would have found it arousing. Number 8, Instant Replay by Dan Hartman.
I think you've just done my one again.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah. All right.
It's done now. Down 4 and 7 is John Travolta again and Olivia Newton-John, his wife, from the film. And they're singing about summer nights.
Not really interested in that film.
Honest,
the film sounds infantile. It's all about kissing. But
kissing film.
I do find it amusing that I heard one of my grandchildren refer to them as John Revolting and Olivia Neutron Bomb.
Incredible.
Very entertaining. And number 6.
That's the kind of thing that Kenny Everett might have come up with.
Yeah, perhaps so. At number 6, Darling.
I was just going to say, I don't want to hear about summer nights in the middle of November. I want to hear songs about pipes being lagged.
Yeah.
Ahead of the winter.
And if you don't lag them, at the very least, if you're going away for a few days to visit the in-laws over Christmas, for example, don't be tempted to save money by switching the heating off completely. Leave it on just a touch.
Madness.
If not, the pipes will freeze and burst, and then you've got months of maintenance on your hands.
Months of mayhem.
I won't tell you again. Months of Mayhem's a great title for a song of that album we've been talking about for so many years. Months of Mayhem. Skin on Skin is another great song title. Anyway, we'll go back to this off air. I'm disgusted to see that Frankie Miller has omitted to complete the word darling with the G at the end of it, and instead, yet again, has tried to Americanise our language by doing darling with an N and an apostrophe. Disgusting.
Frankie Miller, you are scum. If I hadn't already banned somebody, I'd be banning you. Up 2 places at number 5, it's those fighters from Leicester, Shawaddy Waddy, with Pretty Little Angel Eyes.
Well, they sing pretty songs, but I tell you what, they've been in the BBC Club, and I think the only way of describing those lads is handy. Saw things get very, very, very ugly between them and a bunch of bikers outside the BBC Club after a few sherries had been taken. Let's say they were sadistic fighters, mate. There's no other way of putting it. Gouging eyes the lot. I saw one of them dressed in his teddy boy outfit bite another man's scrotum clean open. Tore it open with his teeth and watched his testicles bounce along the street. Disgusting.
I heard they were very businesslike in the way they went about it.
Oh, it was efficient. I can't knock their efficiency.
No excessive noises, no screaming. They just calmly, coolly dismantled their foe.
They were silent fighters, and I thought that was nice to see. Something of a bygone era to that. Nowadays, the punk rockers fighting, it's all shouting and swearing. You don't need to do that to destroy another man.
That was Shawaddy Waddy. No, they just get the job done.
You can just destroy the man, leave him bleeding, and not make a big fanfare about it.
Get the job done, then back to the bar.
And number 4, I don't know how this man would fare in a fight. He talks a good game, but I'm not so sure. I think he might be one to cower and cry behind his missus when things got really ugly. His name is Rod Stewart, and he's asking, do ya think I'm sexy? Listen, Rod, I know you've had a few conquests in your time, and I'm not knocking you for that. But why can't you just say, do you think I'm sexy? What's with the daya? Daya think I'm sexy?
It's ridiculous.
Come on, Rod. There's nothing sexy about using ridiculous juvenile language.
There's nothing sexy about a man wearing tight leopard skin trousers either, which is what he does in the video. Don't get me started on videos for this one. But a lot of women seem to fall for that kind of extrovert, cocksure preening and posing that Stewart specialises in, when really the real men out there are the thinkers, the ones that don't say too much.
The men who are changing the world.
The sharp wit.
Clint Eastwood types like you and I. Now, there's a man. There's a man.
Yeah.
I've never had feelings towards another man, but sometimes I do occasionally get asked by members of the press. They say, if you had to make love to another man, if someone was literally
upon pain of death,
holding a gun at your head saying, bum a man or I'll blow your brains out, mate.
But what of these 3 men were offering to you?
Before they've even given me the list, I always say, it's Clint Eastwood. If I have to, it's going to be Clint. And they say, well, he wasn't going to be on the list. And I say, well, in that case, it's no deal. Blow my brains out.
Weirdly, I'd probably go Rod Stewart, because those leopard skin trousers and that hair that looks like the kind of woman who spends too much time in the bingo, that would be, more my kind of thing. Rather than a big hairy man like Clint Eastwood.
If you squinted, you could pretend he was a lass. But I'm just giving in to the whole man thing. If you're going to go for a man,
go balls deep.
Go big. Go for the manliest man of them all. And that's Mr. C. Eastwood Esquire.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you. You can have Clint, I'll have Rod, and we'll both be happy. Up 2 places at number 3, the Cars. I don't think they're actually cars. They're just men dressed as cars. And it's called My Best Friend's Girl. Well, yeah, I mean, there's a story there behind that song, I reckon.
Yeah.
Something you want to be dabbling in.
Brings back some painful memories about my best friend and my girl back in me adolescent years. You should let go of those things, but I can tell you I haven't. And if you're listening, Steve...
I don't think you should.
If you're listening, Steve, how's unemployment been for the last 8 years? Still enjoying your mother's spare room, are you? You fucking Judas. Number 2... Hopelessly Devoted to You by Olivia Neutron-Bomb.
Something which your adolescent girlfriend wasn't.
No, she wasn't devoted,
Steve,
either hopelessly or otherwise.
And frantically masturbated him in that bus shelter that time. You can't go back, mate.
Well, I was in the chip shop buying her a Savoy.
And still at number 1, it's those scruff bags who've come over from Ireland. I hope their papers were checked at the border. But then at the top of the charts, it's the Boomtown Rats, and they're singing about a rat trap. Rats are disgusting, in my opinion.
What are we going to do about the Irish question? I think I hate to get too serious, but when there are Irishmen at the top of our Great British chart, you got to stop and ask yourself some serious and sobering questions.
Yeah, I mean, it's too big a question to deal with on this show, but I think, let's just say they don't just have bombs. They've invaded our charts, and they've invaded some of our hearts.
They're calling it the soft revolution.
That's where they get you. Hearts and minds, mate. Hearts and minds.
Watch out for the Irish.
I'm not going to ban them just yet, but I've got my eye on them.
Oh, they'd love it if you did. They'll love it if you did. That's what they're hoping for, because then they can play the martyr.
Yeah, I'm not good with it, am I? Yeah. See how long they stay at the top of the charts.
They're our plank of the week. Plank of the week.
There you
this
go.
Week's plank of the week is the Irish, the race, the Irish. Planks the lot of them. Go back to your own chart.
If you can even cobble one together.
You didn't have charts before we civilised you.
There you go. That's the chart then. Fuck me, this has been a long episode.
Yeah, we haven't got any time for anything more. I think we were talking about something else. Oh, we were talking too long about the blob.
It was the blob.
And about sprinklers. Lovely. That's number one of my chart. This week and every week.
Every week.
Listen to that on my headphones all fucking day.
All right, we'll come back next week and we'll have a go at actually assessing something in this chart. There's plenty there, I think.
There is, yeah.
Good stuff. So, thanks for listening and goodbye.
Goodbye.